Often we find in our personal lives that we are around people that love and caring is not exactly the first thing on their mind. By letting them be how they are, being yourself how you are, and growing. In other words, you don't have to deal with them and to grow yourself. You don't have to get rid of them, or you don't have to leave them or something like that. You know, it's not like if your family doesn't support you, you know, you're going to have to go live in a cave. Or that if your work is full of fascists, you know, who are, you know, rooting for death and destruction, you don't have to, you know, quit your job so you're not in that environment. You have to realize that everybody is basically trying to evolve. That's their thing. I mean, some are actually aware that this is what they're doing. And that's like everybody in the room. You know, we know we're trying to evolve and we're making some effort. Most people have no idea that's what's going on here. They're just here. But they are fundamentally doing the best they can with what they got. Instead of thinking, oh, how awful, how shallow, you know, how annoying, you know, this is the problem. These people would just not stop, you know, instead of having that attitude, it's like, well, they're doing the best they can with what they've got. That's just who they are. They don't know any different. And that is the way they are. They're working through their choices, making the best choices they can at any time based on what they have. So have compassion rather than aggravation. You don't have to feel like you need to explain to them the way they ought to be, to criticize them and point out to them that they're ego and that's self-centered and that kind of stuff. If you thought that would be helpful, you could do it, but most of the time it's not helpful. They're not ready for that yet. So you just let them be, have compassion, love them, care, be helpful toward them, and it's the way it is. You're not responsible for anybody's growth but your own. So
It's kind of lonely then, no?
Yeah, well, you know, it depends. It depends. It is kind of lonely in a sense, but in another sense, you get more and more immune to being lonely. You know, it's when you're in that need for feedback and need for other people to tell you that you're okay and need for those pets and strokes that you get from these relationships, then you feel lonely. But see, that's mostly your own ego and your own needs. As you let that go, lonely isn't such a big deal. You're just there. You exist. These people exist. And you interact with them. You're nice to them. But not telling them the way they should be. That's not helpful. Offer them another choice. Well, you know, you don't have to do that way. You don't have to feel that way about it. You know, you choose to be angry. You could choose not to be angry. You know, you could look at it from a bigger picture. And if they take that, fine. Let them have it for 6 months or so until they internalize it, and then help them with the next step. But don't say, well, you're wrong. You shouldn't be like that. Look the way you are. See how unhappy you are. You need to do this and that. That's useless. Basically, it's worse than useless. It tends to back them further into the hole that they're in. It just digs them a little deeper in. So be the example. Again, you know, if they see that you're fine and that your life is good and that you're happy and things are working for you and you know, you're dealing and all that, they'll tend to take whatever you tell them a lot more seriously than if you're trying to tell them what to do. You know, then they don't take you very seriously at all. You're struggling just like they are. And besides that, you think you know everything. You know, so just provide an environment in which they can grow. Offer a little opportunity on the side if they want to take it. And don't push on it. They'll take it when they're ready. And when they're not ready, there's no sense trying to cram it down their throat because you just annoy them.